TikTok could be gone from the U.S. in just a few weeks. President-elect Trump is asking the Supreme Court to hold off on implementing a law that would force the app to divest from China to stay up and running here. But a coalition of attorneys general have filed a brief to support the ban. Alan Wilson, South Carolina's Republican Attorney General, is part of that group, and he joins us now. Mr. Attorney General, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us. This is really, let me tell you, everyone under the age of about 30 is paying close attention to this. On January 10th, SCOTUS will hear the case, and then 9 days later, if they haven't ruled quickly or TikTok hasn't divested from Chinese ownership, then they would be effectively banned. You write this. Here's what you say about this, about TikTok. You say TikTok is a tool of the Chinese Communist Party, an enemy of the United States. Its operations pose a serious threat to our national security. The First Amendment does not protect a platform that allows the CCP to exploit Americans' data and undermine our freedoms. Are you concerned, sir, that your position runs contrary to that of President-elect Trump's?
Not at all. First off, President Trump agrees with all of us that China is not only an existential threat, but a pacing threat to the security of the United States of America. So we all share that belief. Now, one thing that I will say is there are several remedies to dealing with a problem like China. There are administrative remedies. There are political remedies like passing a law, such as Congress did in this case. There are also political remedies or legislative remedies in defending the law. Then there are the legal remedies. Legal remedies would include what we're doing. Before President Trump takes office, we filed a lawsuit to support the law that Congress passed that wanted the TikTok divested from its parent company, which is controlled by the Chinese government, a communist government regime. We see what the Chinese government's doing with air balloons, or what they're doing with drones, what they're doing with geo-targeting U.S. citizens, hacking the U.S. Treasury. Imagine what they would do with the platform that they have total control over. I believe that President Trump, as the leader of the free world in this country, if he wants to take control of this issue and negotiate a political resolution or a policy resolution that would negate the need for us going to the Supreme Court, I'm in favor of that. But in light of, rather, if Trump if he's not able to deal with this, then we need to have this lawsuit in effect, ready to go to divest this company from the Chinese Communist government.
And to your point, Mr. Attorney General, here is what the Trump team says about asking for this delay. They write this: President Trump alone possesses the consummate deal-making expertise, the electoral mandate, and the political will to negotiate a resolution to save the platform while addressing the national security concerns expressed by the government, concerns which Trump himself has acknowledged. Do you see, putting your lawyer hat on, that the Supreme Court, that this process could even be delayed? You've got the Supreme Court obviously scheduled their hearing January 10th. The law is scheduled to take effect on the 19th if there's no resolution.
The Supreme Court may take what President Trump is saying into consideration as it deliberates after the oral arguments on the 10th. This law goes into effect, or is supposed to go into effect, the day before the inauguration. President Trump and his team believe that they can negotiate a resolution that would protect the U.S. citizens and protect our country from the existential threat that China poses to us, especially our data security. Then I trust the president to do what is in the best interest of this country. If he is not able to negotiate something good enough for our country, we have this lawsuit ready to go into effect. I don't know how the Supreme Court will react to that, but I stand ready to support President Trump, either through this lawsuit or through supporting whatever policy initiatives he decides to implement once he takes office.
South Carolina's Attorney General Alan Wilson, thank you, Mr. Attorney General, for joining